We've said it before, and we're going to say it now. In our interview here with former ARCA driver and 1982 Talladega ARCA 200 winner, Jim Butch Vaughan, where does the time go? Wow. Well, we hope you enjoyed this one, and tune in later on in the week for a Stock Car Facts short, and we'll post another full-length feature on Tuesday. But in this installment, Jim discusses his reasons for leaving.
I'll tell you, that's one thing I would wish I could always have done, is drove that 83 Thunderbird with the same setup that I had. That car would have probably run 230 mile an hour. Could you imagine with no restrictor plate?
Well, look what Bill Elliott did in 85. He ran off and left them.
Could you imagine?
By himself.
Oh, dude, man, the ARCA car back then, that thing would have turned a lap. It's hard telling how fast it would have been.
So then what happened? I mean, did you say, I've had enough of super speedways?
No, I just say probably money. You know, it was more. My dad never really, complained or talked about any of that, but it was probably, money.
Can't go bankrupt. We got to keep the business going, and racing's not cheap. It's the old saying: you want to make a small fortune,
so
race start with a big one.
Trying to drive for a few others. Driving for Jerry, but road racing. I think it was IMSA, called IMSA. Kelly cars. Drove a few of those. Yeah. Rode Atlanta, Charlotte.
How'd you enjoy that?
I loved it, but I was not very good at it. I was actually very bad at it. Road racing is so hard.
It's shift. Talking about shift points and rhythm so there, hard. And my second gear, my third gear. Oh boy,
to be smooth at it was really hard. I think the best I ever did, I finished like 8th at maybe Atlanta.
What class was that?
IMSA Kelly cars. It's like stock cars.
Okay.
Just like stock cars.
So then you go to Sandusky, and again you overheat with Jerry. Finish 22nd, and that's it for stock cars.
That was pretty much it.
So you had said when you started, your aspirations were to go, to the BGN series, then to Cup. So then, again, was it just money? You didn't want to move down south?
Money and having kids. I had children then, and being gone, so much. And I'd raced since I was like 13. I know that doesn't seem like a long time with these guys that have done it, but it just, I guess I just I'm a homebody. I love being home. I loved being around the kids and such. So it just got hard to be gone, and I enjoyed being home. I think it got to the point where I enjoyed being home more than I enjoyed going racing.
Because by then you're almost 40 years old. You're born in 42, right? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Well, then they confused.
I was a kid. I was young.
They confused you with that other guy. Then, okay.
I was 21 when I won Talladega.
21. Okay, sorry. So see, that's what I'm glad I asked.
I was 21.
So by 21, you're burned out, huh?
No, it was about 20. I wasn't really burned out. It was just, like I said, it just got harder and harder, to make all the races and, raise a family. I had kids and be gone, going to Springfield sometimes working on the car, or else going to Jerry's at night working on the car, and which what little I knew, of course they always told me what to work on or what to do. But, I knew some, but, about setting up the car and such, but, no, it was just a lot of time, away from home.
So nothing local then? I mean, we could run Columbus. We could run.
No, it's almost like I shut it off, man. I couldn't even watch it on TV. I didn't watch Daytona. I didn't watch any racing on TV for probably 10, 15 years.
Bobby said the same thing. He said, once he was done, he was done.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to go back because then he get the itch, and then if he gets the itch, he doesn't want to do a starting park. He wants to, he wants to actually run, even though he did do some. So turn it off and keep it off, huh?
Yeah, same thing. Because I knew I had to focus on, like I said, raising kids and stuff now, and building my business and working, and that was going to be my next venture, is being a dad.
So now you're not racing anymore. Now you're raising a family. You're a family man, company. Keeping the businesses going. What does Butch Vaughan do nowadays?
Really not a lot of. I don't do a lot. I help my son run the business. My daughter, my youngest daughter, she's going to be graduating as a senior from Ashland University, so she helps with the business, and we're kind of like in the semi-retirement phase. We're moving. We got a place we're buying in Florida, down in Destin area, to spend winters and with grandkids. And
has 60 hit you yet?
Yeah, I tell you. What's really weird, I guess everybody says the same thing. My mind still says I'm 18, but my body says, yeah, you're 60. So,
now, one thing I noticed about, you love the home here outside of Columbus. No trophies, no pictures of any of your races or anything on the wall. What happens? No walls, no nothing.
My mom questioned me a lot about that as well growing up because, I had, 5 boys. And I knew that if ever I never had any mini bikes, nothing like that. No pictures up, so the kids were never interested in it, because I knew that I would probably lose one of them or have one of them really injured severely if they took it to that level of racing. Where you see it all the time, and I've just watched the poor young the Vaughan's family going through it right now in the flat track community. It happens all the time. And I wasn't willing to, lose one of them. It's probably selfish, because they probably could have been really good at it. But I got them into wrestling instead. So,
MMA.
I never had
can't get hurt there.
No trophies, no pictures, no nothing was ever up their whole life.
But if they came to you and said, Dad, I want to do this, how would that have been for you? Find your own money.
Yeah, at the time I probably would have, said no because, you can do it when you're old enough.
Kind of like Bill Venturini did.
Yeah.
His dad said, when you're old enough, get out of the house. You can't live here and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. No, I
and just because I knew I knew the dangers of it, and that I just couldn't imagine the heartache, and I've seen it, of some of the the racers we lost and their parents, and you see the heartache. I mean, I just never wanted to face that, I guess.
Was your wife like your mom? Was she like, hey, if the kids want to do it, I don't care? Or was she on the same page as you?
Again, the same thing. It was never really brought up because it was never out. No, there was never no pictures out, never no frames. I didn't ride motorcycles after I got off of bikes for that very reason, because I was dangerous on them. Yeah.
So basically, they really didn't know about your past.
No,
I mean, they had no idea. So they didn't say, "What did you do as a kid, Dad?" You guys never got into that.
Yeah, so that's why I would really love to have that video.
Yeah,
because they would be shocked to see all that. Yeah.
I really had hair.
Yeah.
So nowadays you say you and your sons are running a business. What business are you guys into now?
We have a company called Advanced Vapor. We started 9 years ago, 2013. Became real
That's the
passionate.
ground floor then.
Well,
wow.
I was a heavy smoker. Being back in the 70s, and everybody smoked. I mean, it was Camel Pro Series, cigarettes.
Winston's throwing them out, even all the kids. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and a friend of mine that do a Bible study with, a men's study, was doing it, and I tried it, and I was like, hey, I could quit with that, and I never thought I could quit smoking. So I quit instantly. Became really passionate about it. My son and I opened a business. It just blossomed and flourished, been blessed, and helped thousands of people quit smoking, open stores and franchises.
Thankfully, I never got onto that subject because it may help somebody here in this that's watching this that is saying, yeah, I want to quit smoking. Thank God I never got addicted, but my dad, heavy smoker.
Yeah.
He was 19 when he started in the military. He's going to be 79 this year, and he quit at 76. And he'd always said, and he was never one of those that, shut up. He always said, never start. It's a nasty habit. It's very hard to quit. What is it about smoking that gets you hooked?
I think it's the nicotine. It's just the
physicality of it.
It's just the habit, I guess. Yeah, the body craving nicotine, just like it does coffee, sugar, anything like that. And again, it's the worst. I guess the bad part's how it's derived into your system. Like when you smoke a cigarette, you're burning something at several hundred degrees, versus vaping is just a vape, and it's it's the propylene glycol, like what's used for
Antifreeze.
No, it's like for
like an oil
for COPD breathing treatments.
Oh, I see.
So it's like yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
sorry, I didn't know where you're going with
that. Yeah. So it's like for COPD breathing treatments and such. So it's just a total different way to help people transition from cigarettes to vaping and vaping to nothing at all. You know.
And is that the goal for you? You want to go to nothing
absolutely.
at all then?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that going to take? Selling the business?
Yeah, probably. You know what I mean? I still enjoy it. I enjoy the flavors. I enjoy, I still enjoy the nicotine myself personally.
What would you say to somebody that is trying to either quit smoking or vaping?
Just work at it. It's like anything. It takes time. It's hard to do. I mean, quitting cigarettes was the hardest thing I ever did, and but it was really easy with vaping. And I could probably quit vaping, but that's the business I'm in. So. I'm getting ready to go to a show in Vegas. I'm going to a vape convention. So it's kind of hard not to be around it.
Right. That's like I tease people now. I say, well, instead of blowing smoke on me, now you're spitting on me. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so again, we talked about it earlier, and I just want to touch on it again that you were known. You're Butch Vaughan, but in all your results, you're Jim Vaughan. What? Bobby Bowser told me when he first started racing, they give you the form to fill out when you're with the series, where you live, your birth date, what your interests are, blah, blah, blah. He said he filled out his birth date, 65. And Jack said, well, what are you doing? He said, well, right now, no. Why put 65? Put 66. Because everybody's looking for that kid, not this old man to race. So he said, you just, reduced yourself a year. So a lot of the early media guides have him as 66 when he's actually born in 65. So is that maybe what happened when you fill out your form? You wrote down Jim or something?
Not really sure. I mean, because I took my father's name.
Yeah.
Jim. So, I guess that's probably where some of the confusion came in, because with my driver's license, Social Security, everything says James Vaughan.
Yeah.
Jim, James. And but I was never called James my whole life. I was called Butch, by my family, by everybody. Mm-hmm. Even at school. But, sometimes they would check in at that. What's up, babe? What you doing?
So, everything says James, Jim, but you're Butch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, were you ever like, maybe I should have gone and been Butch Vaughan when I was racing?
I wish I would have,
separate identity or whatever.
I wish I would have, just left it Butch Vaughan.
I mean, nothing against your dad, of course.
No, not at all. But my dad was Jim. My grandpa was Jim. And, so I should have done that, I guess it was just out of, honoring my dad, that he would adopt me and give me his name, So I was very grateful. So it's just probably kind of more of a way of honoring him than anything.
Because that's where, I made the mistake earlier of looking back through your, on the, and nothing against the thirdturn.com/wiki. Thank you guys for all your stats. It just makes us fat and lazy people, work a little less hard. But, it said Jim Vaughan, 1942. Mm. And that was a guy who ran, I was telling you about him earlier, he ran the NASCAR Grand American Series back in the late 60s, early 70s, had some Grand American Grand National East starts and whatever. Well, his starts and stats are kind of lumped in with yours now. And so it's all a mess, I mean, again, nothing against them. I mean, it happens. It's not just you. It happens with a lot of guys. But I guess they assumed that, okay, well, it's the same guy. So if you want, I will make the crusade to, okay, guys, switch everything to Butch Vaughan. But I can't go back and do that.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with any of it. It's I don't know if it's called 15 seconds, 15 minutes, or whatever.
Your 15 minutes of fame.
I've had mine, So, I've been really blessed. Yeah.
So when you look back, that what we lead out with on every show when I interview people, that I guess that's the last question. Good segue. Thank you. So you had your 15 minutes of fame. And, obviously we don't do our own eulogies at our funerals because we're gone. But say you wanted to leave a legacy, or you would partially write part of your own eulogy or your own epitaph or whatever, what would you want it to say? How do you want to be remembered?
As a Christ follower, for sure.
Perfect.
Well done, my faithful servant.
Absolutely. You ran the race, finished the course, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the way.
Literally and figuratively?
That's the way I want to be remembered. Because that certainly wasn't me when I was racing in those days. And maybe that's why, my path went the way it did, because it probably would have all ended really bad. I would have been in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons, right.
Yeah. So, that's why I say I've been blessed, man. I mean, I got to do what I wanted to do. I got to reach a couple goals I wanted to. And I guess being a dad and, father and husband has been probably my biggest blessing. So, and that's how I'd want to be remembered, I guess, a person that, didn't know Christ, that came to know Christ and changed his life. And that's where I ended up.
Not to say you can't be, saved or Christian or whatever anybody wants to call it on here that's watching. My personal feeling is that, to be called a Christian is a real honor, because Christian means Christ-like.
Yeah,
so, most, you look back in the Bible and they didn't mean it as a nice thing back then. They meant, oh, you're one of those Christians, meaning, it was a put down. Yeah. But, because at the time when Jesus was hung on the cross and sacrificed, it was still, it was a bad thing to be a follower of Christ, because they just killed him. Oh, you're one of them. But anyway, to make a short story long, do you feel it would have been harder? I think you touched on that a little bit. It would have been harder to be a Christian in racing, because, like you'd said, you were a little.
No,
some
I
things
wish
you probably.
No, I wish I would have known then what I knew now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I would have done things so much differently. And I think, like you're talking about, the Christians versus those, but to be Christ-like, which is almost impossible.
Right.
I mean, me personally, how I feel about it, I fail every day.
Sure. You and me both.
Yeah, I'm the worst. I'm I was
chiefest among the sinners, like Paul said.
Yeah, I was at the bottom of the barrel, and still am. And so I never judge anybody because, like I said, least you be judged, because I've done about everything bad in this life
and
you
then
can
some.
do, and then some. So again, for me to ever point a finger, you'll never see me do that. I just try and live my life that shines a light on Christ, and I fail a lot at it, and sometimes I hit, when the right opportunity opens up that I can share, my story.
Speaking of that story, what was your conversion? What was the moment you said, "Oh, I need Jesus"?
One of my children, about 17 years ago, is when it happened. Got really sick, and I needed God at the most at that time to heal, and that was the only way it was going to happen. And then,
wow.
So
you're one of the few that said, "God, if you take care of my kid, I'll serve you."
Absolutely.
Most people say,
"I never stop.
We'll never see you again." Okay.
It was a life-changing moment. Yeah. So, and I've just continued. I mean, and through these last 17 years and such of studying, as I've seen so many of them, now, not just that one, but I've got to witness others that are just shocking if I told you how it happened.
Because it can only be God that did it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was impossible any other way, and so yeah, it definitely, I could never go back.
Well, like one preacher, she said, well, here's filet mignon and here's vomit. The choice is easy, and I think you feel the same way. So
yeah.
Well, I appreciate the testimony at the end here. I appreciate the time. I know that it was short notice. You had we'd never met, folks. Me talking to Butch here in person is also my first time. It's your first time too, folks. So and we appreciate you having us in your home. You're incredibly busy. I can't imagine, some of the interviews I do, my God, it's like pulling teeth. But anyway, just kidding, folks. Don't watch this and go, "What do you mean? I won't give my home," whatever. But I thank you so much for having me, folks. I'm not going to say if you like this video. I know you liked it. So please subscribe to the channel and like it and share it if you would. And again, Butch, I'm gonna put my hand out on camera and shake your hand.